Okay, welcome back. I did miss a room. We did not put any flooring into the living room. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the carpet there as well, um, just for to make transition pieces as we go. So let's go ahead and put that carpet down. And then I'm going to show you how we then create this opening here where the columns are in our plan. So go back into our floor. Got our carpet there. It's all set to the height. This one should be a little more straightforward. So we'll go ahead and use the select wall. And we'll go around and pick these walls that outline our living room. Corner trim them so they all are contained within that boundary. So you need to fix that one. So do modify. Oops, grab that again. Flip it over. Back to corner. All right, so that's all contained now in that space. At this point, we can just say, okay, we're good. We'll check it off. We then say, yep, you then overlap and connect. What this note is saying when it comes up is it's attaching the floor to the walls. So when you move a wall, the floor will adjust size as well. So this is definitely a yes on those. That's one thing we keep doing there. And so I've got the carpet in that space now. If I come back here to 3D, we can see the carpet's laying out. We can see where our wood is and what we need to still put flooring onto. But what we're looking at here now is getting this column system here opened up and setting that to how we want that to be. Now, again, I have not put in that little card table closet. It's a little 1970s in my view. If you'd like to put that in, feel free to. But what I want to do is make an opening here for the columns. And I want that opening to be, I'm not sure, really kind of a little more artistic, if you will. In order to do that, I need to see this wall in elevation, or so it's standing up. So to do that, I'm going to go up to my View tab. I'm going to go to my Section option, and I'm going to draw a section cut right through in front of that wall, all the way through the whole house. Now, once I create these section cuts, I do not delete them. I leave them. You can move them around, but they are numbered. So this is section number 1. And you then end up wanting one vertical and one horizontal. And we'll eventually get to that vertical one. We use the horizontal right now. And once I get that created, I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to that view. If I select this wall, now I can start seeing where that falls into place. So here's the bedroom door. There is the exterior door. And there is an exterior door with this is the wall between. So this is the area I want to work with. And what I want to do is I want to create an opening that I can put the columns into. Now this opening can be any shape, any size, pretty much anything you want it to be. So I'm going to go up here to the top, hit Edit Profile. That now changed that wall into an outline of the magenta. So I'm going to come down here and then just use the draw tools. I'm going to create the opening that I want this room to have. So this line right here represents that pop out where the pantry is. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to draw a line from that up, and I'm going to go a little higher than my door. I'll just give a little bit of height and go up to 8 feet there. Make nice and straight. Come across, and then they come back down again. Now it's catching a wall line there, and that's fine. It's probably the exterior wall on the other side. So I'm just going to go and pull that down. And what I want to look at here is if I can get this distance between the door and the opening that I'm creating to be the same. And that's kind of what we're looking at. It's about 6 feet there. And definitely not 6 feet here. So may not quite be able to get, nope, not quite what I want there. So let's take this over to here. Whoops. All right, so we're going to name that out a little better. I'm going to use my model lines again. These model lines kind of become kind of happy now. In this case, I don't have model lines, so I'm going to have to use a regular line, and I'm going to use the door. I'm going to do an offset. So this is my offset tool, and I want to go, let's try 6 feet on each side. I'm not sure I quite have, yep, that'll work. So I go 6 feet on each side. So now I'm going to go back to the align tool and pull this over. It's going to not like me very much for doing that, but that's okay. And then we can take out my tool lines. Now, you can make this any way you want, but what I want to do on here now is start to create some shape to this. So I'm going to, right below the line tool, this is your 3-point arc. I'm going to take an arc from here to here. I'm just going to bow that ever so slightly. And you can determine what that looks like to you. So I'm going to place that there just a little bit. And let's see, we can do a fillet. A fillet means I can round off a corner. So to do that, I'm going to give it a radius. And I'm going to try a 1 foot radius here, between here and there, and here and here. So it just has a little different kind of stylized look to it. I'm going to keep going now. I'm going to erase this horizontal line because I cannot have overlapping lines. So this is going to become the shape of this opening, but I still have a line across the bottom, which means there's a floor there. So I have to go in now and slice that corner. This is a reverse L, and this is an L. And now that there's no floor there, so the wall is open. So when I check it off now, save my work, this is what my wall is going to look like. It's going to have this kind of an opening into that living room. I'll add some columns to it, possibly. Let's see what it looks like in 3D now. Tilt this back a little bit. So there's that opening that goes into the living room. And so depending on how I open up the rest of the space, may or may not. Now that could be just a square opening. It doesn't have to be rounded. It can be what you want that to be. So I just wanted to open that up so I can see where everything's going. Go back to the main floor. So now I have a 3D view, main floor view, and a section. So wherever I move this line, that section's going to be. So now I have the openings here in the kitchen we got to get to, so we'll get there. Let's go ahead and do the tile. The tile's going to go in the bathroom area. It's going to go into the shower. It's going to go into the laundry here. It's going to be this whole area through here, the hallway, the laundry, the mudroom will all be tile. So I'm going to go back to my internet, and the tile I want, let's just do a gray tile. Let's see what we come up with on there. Now, if you're going to put in all of the want to see grout lines and so forth, you really need to choose carefully how you go about your tile selection. So, for instance, this tile would work really good if you're going gray. I think I'm going to change that up a little bit and maybe do black and white just for right now. I'm not sure that's the best color scheme here. I'm kind of mixing textures a little bit. Maybe I'll just do slate tile. So slate's just kind of a natural stone, has multicolors to it. When you're looking at your pattern, you want to make sure it's something that has sharp edges that you can use to edit to. So something like this can still be a pattern, whereas the square will be there, but these will all change. And again, you want to do a save image as. And again, you really want to be able to get that JPEG. A lot of these being locked out. I'm not actually sure why they've gone to that route, but they have. And it's going to take a minute to find a tile that I like, that's user-friendly, that looks the way I want it to look. So you might have to do some searching on these to get what you want out of it. It really just depends on what website you go to. And there's one there. So this would be a slate tile. And natural stones tend to be a little better, at least in my opinion, but you can have whatever you want. If you want to do some of the others, but feel free to look and explore. All right, so we've got a dining room. We've got all these rooms to do. This will take a little bit of work to do. So we go architecture floor again. We then go down to our tile, edit type, duplicate that, finish for tile, and I'm just going to put on here slate. And the tile is going to be, it varies. It depends on the thickness of the mortar they use. Quarter, it's going to be about a ½ inch on there. But I'm going to go a little bit more. I think I'm going to go with 5/8. Just for a little, I like a little thicker tile grout to kind of keep it a little stable in there. And then when they go travertine, change that out. So travertine is just basically it's exposed aggregate in concrete. Come down here, the gray sphere, new material, right click, rename, tile, slate, hit enter, go choose my image, open that up. Now this one I am looking at, so it's a 1 foot by, so this works out pretty good. If this is 1 foot and we broke it into thirds, that'd be 4, 8, 12. So this is a 4x4 piece of tile here in the middle. If you increase the size, you can get different patterns, but this is going to work okay for what I want to have happen. So hit done, apply, okay, okay, apply, and okay. All right, here goes the busyness of it all. This is all one continuous flow. Okay, now if I can get line to work, that'd be wonderful. And I think I can if I use a face, but it means I got to go back and do a little bit of editing. And, well, that's not terrible. It's just more work. So it's kind of a pick and choose as to how you want things to work and play together, and you get to choose that. But always take your flooring underneath your drywall line, so it's up against the stud. It just makes it so it's a little cleaner edge when you go to render, so that you're not looking at white gaps that show up. And I'm just going to take that out. I think I'm just going to go back to just trace the line. I think that's going to be easier for me because it's just going to move faster. Do a little slice here and corner everything up just because of the sheer size of this area that I'm going through. Enjoying those. And keeping track of where I'm at and everything. It's just take a little bit. All right, so that's going to come. Now, here's something that we did not talk about. This space between the carpet and the tile, there's wood there. I have to go through now and bring the tile up to the carpet edge or the carpet to the tile edge. One of those things has to happen. And you get to choose which way you want that to go. You can bring the carpet under the doorway or the tile, your choice. But we want to get the same thing here again. So this does take a little bit more work when you start to do large areas. Small areas go a little quicker. But that is just kind of where the design really kind of comes into play. And it's going to get a little easier now. I'm not, as I move away from following the picked walls, it'll go just a little quicker because typically I will do a lot more drawing for larger areas. It just gives me more control, less edits. And I don't have to keep cutting around all these different closet walls and everything. So just let me get that going really quick. And if you make a mistake, don't worry, you can come back and realign them. But you do want to be kind of aware of where you're going, because you don't want white gaps to show in your renders at the end when you finish out your project. All right, so this is the stairway. I haven't figured out the stairway yet, so I'm not going to worry about the stairs. But I am going to take the tile up underneath the stair. Excuse me. And this is one where I'm going to make a mistake. So I came down and then went back up. Now I have to come back and fix that, but I'll show you how to fix that when we get there. So this is where the entry's coming in, coming down to the, and then there's another one there. Grab the wrong line. Not quite sure why I grabbed that line, but it did. So we'll fix that. So this is that library area, coming down and over. And if you go fast, you're going to make more mistakes than not. But again, it's not a big deal to just come in and enjoy and get things where you need them to go. So I'm just kind of following along where these edges kind of occur. This is a little bit different. I'm going underneath the whole door itself, just to make sure I don't have anything that sticks out at the end. Coming up the side, so going around. That one's off. And a lot of times it is fast, just come back and fix it. So got to come back again. So got to go around all the walls, get everything lined up, made where you want it to. And you might find a different combination where you want to do this, but you've now seen the use of the rectangle tool, pick the walls, pick the lines, draw the lines, whatever is going to work the very best for you, because you get to do it. And you need to do it right. And you need to do it so it looks good. And you need to put some thought into why you're using what colors you're using. Make sure they make sense to you. So this is that little powder room. When you're doing, if you're trying to save costs for your client, the least amount of changes you do with like different carpets and different tiles, the better the discount on the volume of the material they buy. If they don't have a budget and they don't care, then that's fine. But right now, if you can be as budget conscientious as possible, that will help. Now we have an opening here. I'm going to actually open this all the way up. So I'm going to come down and kind of a line here. I'm going to take most of that wall out, just because I don't see the value of having a little wing wall there for what this house is becoming, as I modify its functionality a little bit. This house is more set up for kind of retirement type home, older couple moving in, and then it's a card table storage. They play gin rummy or bridge or hearts, and they don't need to have a lot of storage for anything else but their gaming. So, all right, this comes, oops, I messed that one up, but that's okay. So that's got mistakes. I'm going to just jump over here. I have to fix that because this line has 2 breaks in it. It's going to air the machine out, the program. It does not like it when you click, click, click too many times. It counts endpoints, and each endpoint should represent a corner. And so it really expects you to follow the rules. And now I'm going to go through and clean things up. So start with this corner right here. Close that off. And we're just going to work our way back around and make sure everything's where it should be. It does take a minute, but it usually goes pretty darn quick as you get going. And then, I'll miss one or two things here and there, and that's okay. Makes things exciting that way. Now, I did not get in. We haven't done the bathroom, so that's going to have to be a separate process, which is fine. Now we get into those errors. So this is where the align tool comes in handy. You just say fix yourself, and it does. And it says no problem. I like to do my own thing. I'll do another line here. Fix yourself. Back here. Comes up and around. And up, over. And I think, therefore I am. I think we're just about where I can, right, there's the other one. Okay, so then do the align, hopefully. It did not like that. It did not. Really did not like that. Corner, because I'm using the wrong tool. All right. Okay, and then do face a core. There we go. And it goes up. All right, let's see where I've got, because there's an error there, so we'll fix that. So what that is there's a double line in there, or it looked like it. Let's do a corner, check again, and there's our floor for that part of it. So we're good there. And then, like I say, this wall, I'm going to go ahead and corner that out too. I just feel it flows better without it, so we'll do that. All right, let's go look in 3D and see how that looks. And there's our tile floor, and it has a pattern to it that actually makes some sense. So now we can go and finish out the bath on this floor, and that'll be nice to have all finished up there. And the stair. We got the stair here. I'm not putting floor in there yet because we actually got to punch a hole in that floor in order to put those stairs in. So now it's just doing this whole room, similar to what we just did. So we are from this point down. We haven't cut a hole for this door. Let's go and put that in the doorway here. And then the shower, I'm going to actually pop that out as well. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut here. I'm going to go ahead and corner the shower room open, like so. And then we're going to put a door. So we'll do door. And this laundry door, it's kind of a bypass door, which is not my favorite, but here's what those are like. I think I've got one in there for you. It's not enough room there for a barn door, unfortunately. And then barn doors are kind of moving on their way. So I'm not seeing one in the template, so go edit type, load. We go back to doors, residential, and see if we can find an interior bypass door. Bypass doors are, this one might be better. Bifolds, so bypass door is what's probably on your closet door where one door slides in from another. That'd be something like this. But bifolds open up more. They kind of fold together. I'm going to use the bifold there. I think it's going to be better. And it's going to be 6'8". I'm going to try and do a 6 foot 6'8". And let's do a flat panel on that. Let it load. Hit OK. And that is not going to fit there at all. So we'll go back and load, same one again. If I can go find that again there. Go to bifold. And I think that's a small one. Let's go. So I can get this to open up another size. Gotta find it again. It's the downside of everything. That was door interior 10 right there. Okay. Sometimes it takes a minute to find them all. All right, so that was a 6 foot. Let's go 4. So this one's a little better. Yeah, that'll work. Now this one is going to be a little contrary to the other rules. It is barely going to fit in this space. It's got a weird profile to it. That's fine. It shows which way it moves. But this will open up more so you can access the washer and dryer easier in there. And so we need to now come in this room, all through there. It's not going to be quite so bad. Okay, so here we go. Back to our floor. We're already set there, and then go back to the line. Let's start right up here. And I try and get that to project sometimes, but not always. Come back around. Now just another little quick run down around, trace the perimeter where everything goes. I gotta figure out why those dimension lines keep showing up, but that's okay. Going quickly. This is the closet with the water closet, the closet for the water closet. And this goes a lot easier if I can just draw and create my project without explaining every step, but then you wouldn't learn anything. And you could go onto YouTube and find all these wonderful videos where people say nothing, and you got to figure out what they're clicking on, and you can't see what they're clicking on. That's my favorite thing. So I'm just going around grabbing each of the inside corners, outside corners of the perimeter of the room, so I can come back up around and close it off at the beginning as like one continuous flowing snake line. Some of you played that game, I think. Get back over here. And coming into the home stretch again. Didn't take too long, a couple minutes. I might be a little off on that one, so I have to come back and fix that. All right, now we got to close everything up. So corner tool here. I already know I need to use the align tool back here because I missed that one. And there's one other right here. And we zoom out and we'll check and see if we got that done. So we go here and check. And we go back here and make sure there's no wood showing except where the stair goes. And so there is my space. All the floors are in position. And we're ready for the next part. So we've done carpet, we've done hardwood, and we've done tile. There you now have the settings to do your own, and you can change those materials to whatever you want when you want. All right, next up kitchen layout and bathrooms. So we're going to do cabinetry and all the things that go there with. So fun days for us. All right. See you back in a few minutes.